everybody, this is Mary.
And this is Julie.
And you are listening to the High Priestess Hype Club. There we go.
It's all like, hey, everyone, I have no makeup on. How you doing?
Oh, I'm sorry. I can start. Do you want me to stop?
No, you're fine. It'd be like, oh, I have my white fruit bangs. No, we're fine. It's a podcast. It's mostly audio.
Yeah.
We should be okay.
Yeah. We're okay. But I think we got to acknowledge we have days like that. Like I just put on makeup before we did this live. So we're recording after the live that's on Facebook, guys.
Yeah.
And the only reason I put, like, we were on before we jumped on to Facebook, and I was like, well, let me get some makeup on my face. So if I didn't have anything to do tonight on Facebook, there would have been nothing on this face. It would have been the disaster it has been, where I just washed it today after having makeup on for a couple of days. Like, it was not.
Look,
good,
I know
Jill.
that life. And even the days that I do that, even though I've now made, like, in my nightstand, like a whole skincare apothecary in there.
Yeah.
There's like micellar water wipes and like serums and all kinds of stuff that I normally do, like, because I'm a makeup in the bathroom kind of girl.
Mm-hmm.
And I saw this TikTok where it's like, are you a makeup on the floor, makeup in the bathroom, or makeup in your, like, at a vanity or a desk kind of girl? And I was like, I'm a makeup in the bathroom kind of girl. So I like bought doubles and put it all up there. Yeah. Nice. The other night, totally just like covered in like my high level makeup, which is like CC cream and like some mascara. Like, it's not a lot, but I was just like, whatever. I can't even wipe this off my face. It's literally right next to me. No, we're struggling a little bit.
Yeah. Well, I mean,
but listen, that's okay.
I get that. And I have to say right now, you guys may know I'm from Boston, right? Julie, you're from Virginia. Yes. And Boston, other than us having terrible accents and quarterbacks who left and seem to can't make up their minds about retiring.
Girl.
We'll talk about Tom. Don't worry. We'll talk about a good old Tom. But yeah, this weather, this time, like, so January and February in Boston, December, I think, because we have the holidays and we decorate things. But once we hit like January, where it's like the coldest time, and
all the pretty lights are gone.
The lights are gone. It starts to get like, we got to get through these next few months. And it's just, in Boston, it's very dreary. It's very gray.
March. Yeah,
we got to get to March. That's our big thing. So we're in February, so I can deal with that. But
God, we got to get to February. It's good. We're making progress, but also what happens?
Well, here's my whole thing now. Like, so, I'm not a resolution maker. We talked about this. Right. I don't like to make resolutions. I like to set goals, but I'm like, okay, so it's February. It's only about 4 or 5 months to the summer. What can I do in that time for myself?
I was thinking the exact same thing this morning. I was like, it is February 1st. Are we going to have the same year we've had for the last 6 years? When, like, suddenly the warm weather sneaks up on us and we're like, wait. Uh-oh.
What is this?
Right.
Why is this here? Yeah. So I just said, I gotta do so. So I'll tell you a little bit about my journey. So I was in my 20s, I got heavy and then kept going. And about 2016, 17, I was like, oh, I'm going to lose the weight. Lost the weight. Then guess what happened? COVID happened. Right. And then I went back up again. So I'm not 100% where I was, but I'm not too far from it. So I said, I think it's time to conquer this once and for all. So I have to figure that out because.
Well, let's figure it out together.
Let's do it. I love it. I love that. I need a buddy. I think that's part of what I need is a buddy.
And I also need a buddy who will get that there are going to be some days that I'm like, look, I'm not feeling this.
No.
And that doesn't mean it's going to, that I don't have to be perfect with, right?
No.
So I think that helps. Yeah. No, mine's kind of like, I was thin and then I got a little chubby when I was in like middle school, and then I lost the weight in high school, and then I went to college and gained some weight.
Right.
And then I'm more that person. Like I've always had that kind of like up and down kind of thing.
Yeah.
And then I had kids and it's just been up ever since. So like got really like fit and pretty good. And then I got pregnant and I was like, this is good. This is what I wanted. Part of why I got fit. And then I was like, goodbye any dreams of being thin again. But I also kind of have to like be like, it could be okay. And
Mhm.
also, is it just being thin to be thin, or what are we actually trying to do now?
Yeah.
Instead of like
Yeah.
repeating like why I would try to do things in the past,
Mhm. Mhm.
you know?
Yeah, now I'm flat out, I gotta fix this for my health because
Girl, same.
I
Yeah.
don't wanna have any problems with my health. It's, I can feel the difference in my knees. That's a place I can feel
Mhm.
the difference. And the other thing is I'm like, I'm kind of playing with time here because I just turned 50
Yeah,
and I
right?
don't, I figure at this age my body's like, so what are we doing? Are we doing this or are we doing some bullshit? Because if we're doing
Yeah.
some bullshit, let's bring on some other pills to make you work. And I'm not knocking anybody who has to take medication. I'm not. And I have to take medication for certain things, but
Sure.
I don't want to, I want to try to avoid things, medications as long as I can.
Well, and I
That's
think it's smart that you're trying to actively avoid them as opposed to like, just to be for real. I was always like,
right.
I'm scared of getting to this level of
Yeah.
health that, but like, I just kind of hung out in that fear like for a long, 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 long time. And now I'm here, bitches.
Yeah.
Like, and it's kind of like, well, shit, like worrying about it didn't help.
No.
I've got all this knowledge, like all kinds of stuff. I could tell you all kinds of crazy health stuff. Like
Same.
like research is one thing, putting it into practice is another. And I think that was one thing I may have mentioned. And if I didn't, I'm mentioning it now. Part of me is like, how does that stuff show up in your chart? Like, does
Mm,
your chart tell you things? Because we talked about this. Like, I was like,
yeah.
I kind of want to use my chart this year to be like, does it show? And I know there aren't many health astrologers. I'm not trying to like pin you in any space. I'm trying to
Oh.
think like, what in my chart tells me about things that might be an easier path for ways to go and stuff, because I'm also not like your chart tells you where you are and that's it, like you're
Right,
F and
right.
that's all it is. I like the idea of it being a tool because sometimes I'm like, also all of a sudden all I could hear was Michael being like, you're a presentation tool. But anyway, but it like being a tool
Well,
to like help you.
yeah.
So I'm kind of curious about that. And I know that one of my apps is like, you need to trick yourself into working out. And I'm like, yeah, okay, that's
Yeah.
accurate. It's
Well, let
also like
me
you need to work out a lot to make it happen. And I'm like, well, that makes sense too, because I feel
mhm.
like I've always had to. Like it has to be like high intensity. I'm like, but I don't
Well, let me look. I'm gonna pull up your chart. How's
know.
that?
Ooh, I didn't expect that. That's exciting.
Well, yeah. Of course. We're gonna take a look.
It's gonna be
Yes.
like, hey, bitch, you have to work out 4 hours a day.
No, God.
You have
I
so
mean,
much Aries.
I just well, I was gonna say is,
I actually don't have that much. It's just those two of the big three.
yeah, didn't we figure out that Tom Brady was
What did we figure out that Tom
he's
Brady
I
was?
think he's a Leo. I think we figured out he was a Leo.
Probably.
Yeah, because
I
he
don't
did a lot with
remember.
his hair. I think he was a Leo and his stuff was definitely like he has to move and he has to work because he's a fire sign. That's some of his
Oh.
yeah. Sixth house tells us a lot.
Ooh,
So
sixth house. Okay, look, I'm taking notes. Sixth
yep.
house.
So your Pluto is in your sixth house in Libra. It's retrograde. So this is the thing. I think
Sounds terrible.
no, 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 no. Oh my God, no. Oh God, you're so cute. No, no, no. So what this is telling me is that you're someone with Pluto being in Libra that needs to have balance as you pull things up and out. So remember, think about
Hmm.
Pluto. It's a regeneration planet. It is a transformational planet. It is um something that will make you look at the places you don't want to look at so you can
Yeah.
make those changes. With it being in Libra, number one, I think your relationships with people are really important as far as your health. So relationships can definitely affect how you're feeling about things. So sometimes we
Astrology just reading me just flat out. Just like
reading you to filth.
reading me to filth.
That's right.
Keep going, please. But yes.
Yes. So that's a challenge. You also have it opposing your
Ooh,
moon.
aspects.
Yes, I'm telling you a little bit about aspects. Your
I
moon
love it.
in your 12th house.
Ooh.
So a
What is
lot of
that?
that is well, moon
Is
is
that
emotion.
I was gonna say, is that like it's your
Um
isn't there one with your moon opposes something specifically? It has to tell you about your familial relationships.
yeah, I mean, I think this is a lot of
I'm sorry. I'm
it's
not
okay.
letting you do your thing. Please continue. I love this information. I will be
I know.
quiet.
No. It's okay. No, no, you're fine. You're fine. But I am looking at it. from a standpoint of, I think your transformation comes through places that have to do with getting to know the feminine of you.
Mm, mhm, mhm,
That's always gonna challenge you. So, how you're seen
mhm.
as a person existing in this world? How close are you to the you don't have to answer, like, how close are you to the feminine? How are you Okay, love
Keep
you.
go
Okay.
keep going. No, it's fine. This is what I'm talking about. Like,
Yeah.
sometimes when I'm just kind of like, "Okay, that's helpful," or like, I don't know," and then I'm like, "Mhm, mhm.
Shut up.
Thanks, astrology." You start getting into aspects, and it's like, "And actually, did you know
Yeah.
that this is who you are forever?" And not really, but like this, we're gonna cut deep, as opposed to like, "Here's a
We are
fun sun sign
Yeah.
meme."
No, no, no.
But
That's
please
not how we work.
continue. I'm apparently just like nervous, but I want to know everything. So I'm gonna
Yes.
shut up and drink this seltzer and let you talk.
Well, that the thing you have to remember
Relationship
is
to feminine.
feminine, yeah, to the feminine, whether it's mom or whether it's mom figures or other women. I mean, are you feminine in yourself? Because sometimes, like I know, I feel some days I feel much more in touch with the masculine side of me when I have to get
Yeah.
things done and I have
Yeah.
to. So again, not saying male, I'm talking about masculine. Like
No,
masculine is
yeah.
an action driven,
Mhm.
right? So that and
Yeah.
your Ceres right now is about to transit your Pluto.
Is that an
Ceres is
asteroid? What is
it's
that?
an asteroid, and it's the mother asteroid.
Ooh. And it's about to do what?
It's gonna transit your Pluto, which means it's gonna come
Okay.
sit with Pluto for a little while and be like,
Hey,
"Hey,
bitch.
what's up? Should we have some tea? Alright, so what are we digging up today? Ooh, let me look at it from all the mother places," you know? So it's gonna start poking at you, but it's how you wanna be seen in the world in the feminine.
Well, sure. Okay, that's cool.
Yeah, so 6th house, if you're looking for health things, it's 6th house.
Mhm.
Um, and, just other planets that are in fire signs. So we know your sun's in a fire sign, and we know your moon's in a fire sign. Let's see what else we got
Right.
here. Hold
It's
on.
really not too many more, to be honest.
Sag, you got Sag and
Yeah.
Lilith. Don't make Julie mad.
She gets real angry.
Yeah, yeah, we
Like, to
got
the point I'm talking in third person about it. I'm like, "I get
don't make
so
Julie mad. Yeah, no, we don't want to do that.
mad."
Nope, know that. Um,
She'll at least feel it really deeply and maybe not say anything about it, but
yeah,
she's pissed.
she's mad.
Mhm.
So that's something to
That's
think about. Like,
interesting.
you
Well,
know,
yeah, and I think that's an interesting way to think about it too, as opposed to like, tell me what workouts I should be doing.
yeah,
BuzzFeed, if I'm an area. Do you know what I mean? Not that I'm
right.
calling out BuzzFeed, but it feels like that
No,
sometimes. Like, because fun astrology stuff is fun too, right? Like, I send
super
you
fun.
all this stuff all the time.
Love it. Love it. I
But I
love
think
it.
that's interesting, and I don't know that I would have thought about it in the context that you're bringing it up, but I can see how it all falls into place.
Being read to filth by your astrology chart.
I
Thank you.
know, right? Thank
Yeah, thank
you. But
you.
that's interesting.
Mhm. Yeah, I think it's sometimes I think we forget ourselves in things.
Oh,
We
yeah.
have all these roles we play and then we forget ourselves and it's like, "Oh, I got to get back to what I'm doing. Who
Well,
I
yeah,
am." Yeah.
1,000%. I know that
Yeah.
that has been far from my mind for quite a while, and this is
Mm.
part of coming back to it, you know?
Mhm. Yeah.
And, like, you've known me a few years now, you've seen it happen.
Same with
But
you've seen with me, girl.
yeah,
Yeah.
so, yeah,
Yeah.
but that's interesting.
I think COVID threw a lot of us off. You
Yeah,
couldn't do your regular stuff. And I
right.
gotta be honest with you, in COVID, I was like, yeah, I'll cook for a while. I'm kind of bored with cooking. Someone dropping off food? Great. They can drop it off on my porch. I'll wave to them and go out and get
Right,
them.
yeah.
Yeah. And I wasn't, and then I just let my habits, I can tell you, I let my good habits go. They were
Oh,
gone.
yeah,
Because it
yeah.
was like I had all this time on my hands, then things weren't really quite the same, and I was like, "Well, I'll go for a walk," and, I let things go. I got really attached to Netflix and YouTube,
Look, I get it.
so,
I
you
get
know,
it.
yeah, and the
And
gyms
I'm
were all closed. I mean, the gyms really
well,
were the last
everything was
ones.
closed, and,
Everything was
like,
closed.
and I'm really good at talking myself out of stuff.
Oh, brilliant at it. Oh my god.
I
Are you kidding me? Oh
and
my
to the
god, my
point
back
too,
hurts a little. I could hurt it more. I shouldn't go to the gym.
what I think I told you too once that, like, you know, hypnotherapy helps me a lot, but it does
Mm.
not around this because apparently I got a lot of blocks that have to do with Pluto and shit like that. Pluto's in Libras and maternal shit. But like you can tell it's deeper. But like after I do it for a while, I would have a day or two where I was like, I'm up. I've worked out a couple times, like a couple times today. Like, do you
Yeah,
know what I mean? Like I've done all
yeah,
this stuff, and then it's gone.
right.
3 days and it's gone.
Yeah.
And so there's a lot in there.
There yeah,
Apparently, there's a
same,
lot in there.
same,
So,
same, and, I know it makes me feel better. I remember I was going to the gym, it makes me feel better. I just
mhm.
and I have that problem too, like, I'll get on a run, and then I'll go off the run, and then I'll get on a run. I can tell you what it is with me. I'm not doing enough to, like, soothe myself emotionally, I can tell you that. I'm not doing enough. Like,
Same.
yeah, and if I got it out of me, I think it would be better. Like, I haven't journaled about it lately. I know my saga with journaling, everyone, I'm sorry, but
Your saga with journaling is amazing, and you talk about it all the time. My saga with journaling is this: she didn't do it.
it's no, it's not that's not what this is about. It's okay, we're hyping each other up.
I
It's
know, and
alright.
your saga with journaling is great.
Thank you. Well, thank you. But that is where I find if I meditate and I journal,
Mhm.
I'm good. It helps my emotions a lot. And I know.
Yeah.
So,
Same.
yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I had someone say to me once, they're like, "Well, you don't feel like you don't feel like you're worthy to have this peace in your life." And I'm like, "Hmm.
Well, damn.
Yeah, that was something." Some of it is like, yeah, you're used to the chaos. Like you're used to a lot of I
Well,
mean, I am. I
mhm.
shouldn't, but I'm used to a lot
No,
of
but some
chaos.
people are, yeah.
Yeah.
No, I hear that.
Yeah, yeah, and I also the other thing I said to somebody recently was, I'm very good, like so if you need someone to remember to send a gift for a birthday party, not so great at that. You need someone at the house at 2 o'clock in the morning because shit has gone down,
There you
I'm
are.
your girl.
Yeah.
So I may not be great, like, if you have a birthday party and I forget to bring a gift or whatever, like, yes, I freely that's something I need to work on.
Yeah.
But if you're at the hospital at 3 o'clock in the morning and
I
you call
got
me,
you.
I'll be
Right.
there. I may look like a troll, but I'll be there,
Never
you
like a
know?
troll.
My hair all up in a bun,
It's
you know?
cute.
Did I tell you that I started
No.
lightening this purple? I don't know if you can tell it's a
I
little
can
bit
tell
lighter.
it seems a little brighter, a little
Yeah.
lighter.
I'm trying to do the Kelly Osbourne
Look, she
hair.
looks fabulous.
She does. I know.
I
I
love
know.
her hair.
So that's why I'm trying to get to Kelly Osbourne, like, shine. Yeah. It's a
Yes.
journey, though. It's a journey because I had very dark purple, as y'all know, but now it's a journey.
You'll
It's
get there.
happening.
It's on the way.
It's
I
on the
can
way.
see it under there.
Thank you.
Mhm,
Thank you.
mhm,
I'm
mhm.
trying. But yeah, so that was the thing. Yeah, I'm not used to the peace. Like, so and I'm like, oh, that's like terrible. It
Yeah.
felt very terrible. I was like, oh,
Oh, my
I
life
don't
is
want
chaotic.
I don't want that all the time,
Right.
but
Yeah.
I
But
don't
there's
see.
a way to get like fun, chaosy energy. That sounds
Mm,
weird, but like as opposed to like traumatic or
right.
dramatic or right? Like,
Traumatic, dramatic. Yes, I love
you
that.
know
I
what I'm
hate this
saying? Like
word.
we're talking
Yeah.
about different levels of it, but like,
Yeah.
it's one thing to be like spontaneous chaotic as
Mm,
opposed
mm.
to like destructive chaotic,
Yeah, yeah,
you
yeah,
know?
that I'm not. I don't think I am. Like, but I'll be one of
I
those
like
people like, "You know what? Like, why don't we do something this weekend?" Like, I'll be one of those people like,
right,
"Hey, I'll go hey, Jules, are you doing anything? I'll come visit." You'll be like, "What?"
right, right.
Like, I'm one of those, which that can be a little
I like
chaotic, but
it.
that's fun.
No, but that's fun. It's not like, "Hey, let's go do something horribly destructive to ourselves." You know? Like,
No, no, no,
yeah.
nah, nah. Though I
And
used to be like that. I'd be like, "Wow."
I was gonna say me too.
I'll tell you a quick story. It's funny because our
Do
friend
it.
Steven, who we love, is part of this story.
Yes.
So I'm down in New Orleans. Steven is working. At the time, he worked on Canal Street.
Mhm.
So I'm gonna pick him up. He's like, "All right, I'm out of work at 4:30." I'm like, "All right, well, I'll go in the quarter and just walk around a little bit till you're done because it's right around
Yeah.
the corner." So I park, I walk around taking photos. This dancer comes over to talk to me. She was great. And then I can see this guy hovering around behind
Mhm.
her. And so she moves and I'm talking to her, but he walks over and he's like, "Hey." He's like, "What are you doing?" And I was like, "Oh, I'm waiting to pick up my friend." And he was like, and it's like 4:15 now. And he's
Yeah.
like, "Yeah." I go, "Yeah." I go, "He gets out of work at 4:30." He goes, "Oh," he goes, "Do you want to hang out?" And I was like, now, meanwhile, he's about 5'10",
Mhm.
very, very muscular, like would definitely worked out.
Yeah.
Um, dark hair, dark eye, just handsome as.
Right.
And
Right.
and as I'm looking at him, I'm like, "Sir, you are a terrible decision. You are a very
I
bad
love
decision."
you. That's
I'm like I did. I looked at him, I said, he's like, "Do you wanna go?" And I was like, "Yeah, but you're a really bad decision." And he was like, "Well,
yeah.
no, I'm fine, like, just come hang out with me." And I'm like, "Okay, I still have to go pick up my friend, like, that's not a lie. I have
Right.
to pick him
First off,
up
I
around
have
the
to
corner."
be somewhere in 13 minutes.
I really do, like, I'm like, "I'm
Right.
not lying to you, I really do." I'm like, "But, yeah, you're a bad decision for me." And he was
Right.
like,
Right.
"Fine." He walked off. So I went and I picked up Steven, and Steven goes, You just coulda called me." And I went, "No, no. No,
You
no.
know,
He was a bad decision."
and I knew it.
And I knew it. I knew it. He was a bad decision. So,
Mhm.
I'd like to think I'm not bringing that
I'm
chaos
proud
into
of
my
you
life
though. That's
anymore.
awesome.
I did
Right.
have a I did have a moment where I paused and I was like,
You're
"Hmm,
like,
hmm,
are
how
we
bad is
how
bad?"
right?
Like,
Like, am I in my
mm,
20s?
am I
Am I in my 30s?
yeah, I'm
Like,
like,
which is the
"Hmm."
hmm.
I was like, "You are a terrible decision, sir, and I gotta go." I did. I was like, "I gotta go," and he just, like, pouted and walked off, and I was like, but that would have been some chaos in my life.
Oh
That
my
definitely would have
god.
been some chaos in my life, yeah.
Yeah, dude,
Yeah.
seriously.
I mean, maybe a good story, but definitely chaos, so I was like, "I gotta go. I gotta go."
Right.
Mm,
The better
and
call.
yeah, yeah, and I did, tell someone I was sorta seeing at the time that that happened, and they were not amused, and I'm like, "Well, listen, first of all, I told you,
Mhm.
and second of all, I didn't go with
Also,
him,
nothing
so
happens.
and nothing
Also,
happens."
third,
Yeah. Come on, dude.
appreciate what you have.
Right, I know yeah, that doesn't go well. My
Mhm.
and I'll tell you, it was my ex-husband, my ex-husband would did not and I understand that, but I was also like, "I'm not doing
Right.
anything." Mm, yeah. So, I mean, that happened, but he's my
Boo.
ex-husband.
That's right.
Yeah, he's my ex-husband for a reason. So, I don't know how I think I would hope in this day and if that same person walked over to me now years later, I'd be like, "No, sir, you're a bad decision," but I don't
Right?
know anymore. Mhm,
Like,
mhm.
what
I'd have
day of the week is it? How are we
to
feeling today?
Yeah. I'm in New Orleans, who's gonna find this out?
Right.
But yeah, no, so I was a good girl, I was a good girl. I mean, and it's not listen, I'm a grown woman, I can do whatever I want, but I also was like, this is not a good
Well,
idea."
and you knew what was good for you at the time versus not, right?
Yes, yes. Well, usually I was
That's
not that good about
important.
those things. But I've gotten better,
I
so
I understand that life as
yeah.
well. So,
You know?
chaotic decisions, we've made a few.
Yes. Yeah, they've been stories, I'll say that. There'll be
Right?
stories, yeah,
Right.
yeah.
So,
But, yeah, so that's the whole, like, getting in shape thing, I think it's more of just, I don't wanna screw up my health, and I don't like that, and my blood
yeah.
pressure's high, and I don't like that because I'm
Yeah.
just, trying to carry a lot of things,
Well,
including some
yeah.
weight.
Right?
So you're
Same.
right.
And
Yeah.
also just with everything that's been going on, it's kinda like I'm
Mm,
just kinda like, "Oh my gosh," like, I've got little kids, like, I'm old for how young my kids are. Maybe not so much generationally, but, like,
mm,
than what we're used to growing up, right? Like,
mhm.
so I'm like, oh, and I think about, like, I don't wanna have to put all this on them. Do you know what I
Yeah,
mean? Like,
yeah. I totally get it.
and it's a bunch of different things, but there's been a lot of like, okay, father-in-law died. There's just a lot of us like sitting in bed looking at like Tracy and I looking at each other like, we got to get our shit together.
Yeah,
Like, we don't have that much time left. And like,
yeah.
like, how do we want to live it?
Yeah.
So,
Well, that's it.
yeah.
I feel that, I feel that. It's it's not a judgment thing, like, I think,
Yeah.
size is size, and it is what it is, and if someone's gonna think
Well,
less of me
right.
because of that, so what? But I also,
And
yeah,
I'm
I just
also like realistic, I think, about what I'd prefer.
mm,
Like, I think my understanding of how I look at other people is different than it was when how I looked at other people when I was like the 90s and
yeah,
younger. And like, I look at pictures of me that I was like, oh, I thought I was like, oh, I wish I was that fat. Like, you know what I
yeah,
mean? Like,
yeah, I
and
do,
it's like
I
you
do.
weren't. And like, you're pushing, like, I'll have to show you this one that I remember then they took the picture. And I've got like my arms in front of my stomach because I was like, oh my God, I'm like a freshman in college. I am
Yeah.
so fucking thin that, like,
Mhm.
because like I didn't have a lot of money
Right.
and I walked.
Yeah.
My
Yep.
dorm was at the bottom of a giant hill that I had to climb
Yeah.
multiple times a day. And I was like, oh my God, I'm so like, it's like, no,
Yeah.
dude. So, like,
Yeah.
body dysmorphia is intense, like,
Yes, yes.
expectations and, like, how susceptible are you to, like, what society says you should be at the
Mhm.
time, especially when it's, like, fucking heroin chic, but, like
Mhm. Yeah.
and that's a lot now too, but I think there's a
Sure.
lot more, like, body acceptance stuff going on, and
Yeah.
that makes me really happy, and I try to think about, like, I think this person looks great, and their
Yeah.
body is similar to mine.
Yeah.
Maybe I should
Yeah.
think about myself a little differently instead of
Yeah.
sending everything back that I got in this Stitch Fix because I was like, "These are all too short tops.
Yeah.
Is there a
Yeah.
tunic in the world anymore?" Instead of
Yeah,
all
I
of
know
these
it's
crop tops.
crop tops.
But
Yeah. Yeah. I'm
and
not
will I
ready.
ever be brave enough? No. I
No.
brave enough when I was skinny?
No. No.
No. Am I
No.
now? No.
No.
And that's okay, but
It's
also,
alright.
like, I think I'm more thoughtful about it now than I was then, which is like, "I
Same.
suck," as opposed to like, "Is this something you really wanna do?
Yeah. Yeah.
Does it that matter that much?"
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah. That's
You
a
see
good
other people who
thought.
are your size who do it, and you're like, "They look freaking cute."
Yeah. Same. Same. Like, I like some of those girls on Facebook that are out there like, "Hey,
Mhm.
I got these clothes, these new clothes I'm gonna show, and they're plus size, and they look
Yeah.
amazing." And,
Yeah.
I'm like, alright, that looks amazing." Like, things I would not be brave enough to try on,
No.
and they try 'em on and they rock them. 'em. I'm like,
I know, and
"Oh,
I'm like, "I love
mhm."
you and admire you."
Yeah. Yeah, and
Yeah.
I wanna I'm like, "Well, maybe I wouldn't look bad in that shirt and those pants." Like, I
Right.
think it's funny because I'm now saying it out loud, like, I judge it before I even try it on. Like, if I went and I tried it on and I liked it, I haven't even tried it on. I'm
Right.
just like, "Oh, no, that won't look good on me."
Mhm.
I'm not really sure. See,
Yeah.
this is a good conversation, Jules.
Go us.
Go us. Right. We're hyping each other up. Yeah, hopefully some other
Yeah.
people too, but,
I know,
you
I
know,
hope so.
bottom line is you're beautiful just the way you are, and if you wanna change things, then you change things. It doesn't mean that you
And
have to.
because you want to, not
You
because
want
other
to.
people are telling you to or
Right.
expecting you to.
Right.
Damn it.
Right. Right.
Whether that's society or a specific person in your life
Mhm.
or
Mhm.
whatever. Is it
It's
all
true.
your aunts? Maybe.
Oh, yeah, could
Is
be.
it, you know,
Mhm. Mhm. Mhm.
is it work telling you you can't have curly hair and fun shoes? Maybe. Do you work from home now? Yes.
Yes.
But
Yeah. Oh, no, you can't do that. What I remember one time they sent out a thing that said, "We need to have, tasteful jewelry," and at the time, I was wearing a ring basically on every finger. I was like, "I think this is tasteful. Let 'em say something to me,"
yeah, what's
which was
tasteful?
yeah, I'm like, "What?
Some
My
classes for
rings are all pretty
yes.
beautiful. Yeah, I'm gonna leave them
Yeah.
on. Let them say something to me," and they never did, but I was like, "Tasteful jewelry. This is
Like
tasteful."
everybody's gonna be like, "Julie, nobody thought that was cool." But, like, there was a time
Oh.
back in the mid two thir early to mid 2000s, right? I hadn't had
Mhm.
a kid yet. I had my kid in 20 between 2008 and 2011. So, I mean,
Mhm.
fashion was questionable then anyway,
It was, yeah, I
but
agree.
it happens. But there was a
Mhm.
period of time where people were trying to make and we were, like, in PR and stuff, but I worked for a
Right.
nonprofit, but I liked clothes. So,
Yeah.
like, we're making like, you remember when, like, Bermuda pantsuits were in for a hot minute with, like, pointed heels, like, pointed
Yes.
toe heels? They were
Mhm.
fucking cute, and I was like, "It is
Adorable.
the summer. I don't wanna wear a skirt every day. I'm gonna wear this to work." I got written up. I was like, "This is a suiting. Like, this is actually let me bring you some" but, like, I got written up, and I was like and there at the same time is a lady who is wearing wool socks with Tevas every day. And that's fine if you're a wool socks and Tevas kinda girl, but,
Sure.
like, why can't we both exist and be okay?
Yeah. What was wrong with you? Wow.
Yeah, I got
Yeah.
written
I
up, and I was really upset. I was like, "This
was gonna
is
say.
I spent a decent amount of money that I don't have on this."
Yeah.
Like,
So,
damn it. Look,
yeah.
now we're complaining about things, but, like, I used to be
That's
cute.
right.
I used to do
No,
fashion.
we're
Was it
still
cool?
cute and we still do fashion. We're just doing it differently. No, no, we gotta this is part of it. It's like we're beautiful just the way we are, and if we wanna change things, we will, and that's it.
Mhm. I remember
And
look,
that's
I'll quit ranting and I might cut this, but I
yeah,
remember
no.
being like, "This is the exact same material," because it's part of the set
Yeah.
of the pencil skirt, because pencil skirts were in then
Oh,
too,
yeah, yeah, yeah.
that I wore 2 days ago because it's part of the set, but I'm getting written up because it's pants and not a
Oh,
skirt.
oh, 'cause you wore a
And they were
suit
like,
with pants.
"Yes, because they're shorts." And I was like, "This is stupid."
Okay. Yeah, that's great.
Anyway,
I'm gonna go look for another job now.
no
Thank
sense of
you.
history. He wears a brown tie,
Right.
like for
Look
the
at
3 people who
this.
listen to this who have watched the Buffy movie, like
No, seriously, it's like, what are you doing, people? Come on.
anyway.
Yeah.
Yes, and my old boss and I, we used to joke. She was like, "We're never gonna make it anywhere in here with you with your shoes and curly hair, me with my curly hair, and like, we were just like we were too young and like clothes too much."
Yeah. Oh my god, stop it. That I would have been thrown out too, yeah.
Need like the anyway.
Yeah. No, I was my
That
my
is
outfits were very bright and bold
yeah, you
at
were telling
corporate.
me about about them the other day and they sounded
Yeah.
amazing.
Yeah. Well, thank you.
You're
Yeah,
welcome.
yeah. Oh, yeah, no, I had on the one I really the outfit I really liked was it was a suit jacket with a dress. It was bright red
Yes.
with white, like, tiny polka dots,
Hot.
like,
Mhm.
and then red heels, and I wore that. I flew in that. I had to fly to LA.
That's a fucking power sag suit right there.
Yeah. Yeah, I flew to LA in that outfit. I was like, I'm
Fuck
feeling
yes.
that, you know?
Mhm.
So yeah, no, and I miss the you know what, you can do that in plus size, and I just don't. I get the graphic T-shirts and jeans, and so
Look,
I've sort of
but I
brought
don't have to
myself
be in an
down a bit.
office. Do I wanna wear a suit every day? No.
Mm-mm, no, mm-mm. So yeah, that's something too. Like I think, styles change, but yeah,
It's
I
true.
think it's something, Jules, I think we can talk about with all of you too.
Oh,
So
absolutely.
yeah, yeah. It's good.
Email us your favorite outfit that got hated on by some fool in corporate.
Yeah, we'll show some of those guys. I got pictures of that. I'll definitely show you.
I
And,
know.
it's today, like, in some of the I'm like, "Wow, choices," but I made that choice at the time, and that's fine.
Yep,
Yeah, so High Priestess Hype Club at gmail.com,
you got it.
or you can contact us at highpriestesshypeclub.com.
Oh,
And Julie,
yes.
yes, and how do people find you, Jules?
I mean, you can just find me through all our stuff because Hedge and Hearthfire, we're trying. By we, I mean me.
You're
But
right, you're a one-woman
there hadn't
show.
been much content posted lately,
That's
mostly
alright.
because, life is
Things
hard.
have been
But
happening,
it'll
yeah.
be okay. Things are changing. You know, making some ideas and moves when it comes to some social
Yay.
justice candle work kind of stuff.
Ooh, guys, yeah. So you have to check out Hedge and Hearthfire. Yeah.
And I
Yeah,
think
yeah.
I'm going to probably send you one or two to test to and see how you feel about them.
Oh, I'd love that. That'd be fun. Yay.
But anyway, we'll
Um,
see. Woo!
yeah,
That was
and
a
guys,
tangent. You should write us
you're
and
fine.
TikToks us. And
Right, right. And you know how to find me, Mary Dalba. But listen, guys, you have a good week or day or whatever you'd like to. Remember, you are magic, and we will catch you next time.
bye.
Bye.
Follow us on Instagram, TikTok, and Facebook at High Priestess Hype Club and subscribe to us on whatever platform you're currently listening to us on now because we're back every Thursday to hype you up. Email us at highpriestesshypeclub at gmail.com and tell us what you think. We'd love to hear from you. Thanks for listening, and we'll see you next week.